How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Nexus Vein channel. Today we got something really important for you that will make you some good money in 2025. So I hope you stay tuned and listen. Today it's all about certifications. Certifications can make or break your job or your career, right? Companies will defer less and less from your degree and more like what are some relevant certifications that you guys know that make it beneficial for today's job market, right? And let's be honest, a lot of you are not coming here for passion. You're really coming here because you want to figure out what certification essentially pays the most. So that's what we did today. We did the top 5 most in-demand certifications for 2025. Whether you're breaking into tech, cybersecurity, cloud, project management, we got something for you. So stay tuned and listen up. What are the top 5? I found them very interesting this year and I'm happy to share them. All right, first up is going to be the CISSP, Certified Information System Security Professional. As you know, cyber threats are happening more and more relevant. It's happening pretty much every single day. In 2025, they're estimating it's going to be over $10 billion spent on just preventing cyber crime, right? So that's a huge amount of number. To this day, it's not a surprise, the CISSP still remains in these top 5 certifications lists, and it's not a new thing. It's been here for 2024, 2023, and I believe 2022, and even in COVID times. I actually own a CISSP myself back in my cybersecurity career. But here's something people don't know about it. It's actually not a beginner certification. Although really popular, you shouldn't get this as your first cert if you're trying to pursue a career in cybersecurity. Why? It's actually very high level. CISSP is better for a senior level, a manager, you're going to go to a CISO level. This is your cert. And the salary will get you around $130,000, $160,000. This was taken by surveys in United States and Canada. The demand comes from, there's 3.5 million filled roles in cybersecurity. And, we need to have a way to go very highly horizontal in them, right? So CISSP will cover all domains of cybersecurity very wide. I'll go wide, it doesn't go deep. Why is it good? Because when you get to a higher level, you want to know all the systems in your company for cybersecurity play a role in business operations, right? How are you protecting money? How will this help make money be made? And what are things you can do to prevent things from like this happening again? If you're looking to advance cybersecurity, get into managerial roles, CISSP will take you there and bump your salary to those high level 6 figures. All right, next on the list, this one, this is one of my favorites, is the AWS Security Specialist. All right, so coming up next, this is one of my favorite ones, and it's got to be the AWS Solutions Architect, professional or associate, doesn't matter. This is pretty much a no-brainer. So you guys are watching this thinking, well, no duh, right? Cloud computing dominates the market. The last 10 years, you saw that immensely exploding, and it's only going to get more and more prevalent with things like AI coming into play and more of automations and systems running. You're going to need to put that somewhere, and nobody wants to handle all that compute themselves. And the 3 big boys in the clouds handle that for you. So if you know any of them, in this case, AWS, which is, 50% of the internet traffic is cutting on them, it would make sense that companies would see you valuable, in their infrastructure. And I've seen this firsthand, including myself, when I went for this cert, that, serious salary bump, right? This is back in my contracting days. So why? Well, hiring potential, right? You can get the certification and you can increase your salary to over 6 figures. Once again, $130,000 to about $175,000 per year. That's pretty good if you ask me. Huge market growth. Cloud computing is going to hit about $1 trillion in 2028. I hope you guys use that information and get a piece of the pie because you understand how to use it. And lastly, it's preferred by major large companies. Majority of companies run on cloud. If they're going to have an IT role, they're going to say, well, can you figure out how to use my cloud environment? Amazon, Netflix, Uber, Airbnb, these are AWS based companies. So it's a no-brainer, guys. AWS. All right, number 3 is a bit interesting. Let's switch the gears here. It's going to be PMP, the project management professional, right? Companies, as they launch, as you start growing, you can't just rely on the C-level team or a high-level management team to handle all these different type of projects going on in your company. You need someone who's professional, who knows how to manage projects correctly, how to execute them correctly, and make sure that the stakeholders, the teams involved, everything's being communicated right, and the project's actually being done as close as possible to the deadline, and all the issues are being communicated along the way. That's actually a big deal because people, the best way I like to call it, and don't take this any wrong way, it's like a glorified babysitter, but you actually need that. AI can't replace a glorified babysitter, seriously. And that's one of my favorite reasons why I think this deserves to be on the list. As much as people want to think they're getting replaced, I disagree. Project management jobs are going to grow by 25 to 30 million in 2030. Well, because as more and more things happen with AI and software, and maybe people get replaced, you're going to need that human to be there to make sure things are running how it should be. And I don't got to stress as a C-level owner or somebody that's on the high-level management to figure out. I just reach out to my project manager and get the details like that. Salary is pretty good. Project management in North America, 150 to 150K, and some companies up to 200K. Another my favorite is it's pretty much it's industry agnostic. You can work in construction and healthcare and tech and IT and real estate. You always need a project manager for some sort of types of different projects happening. So it's a great role. I think you should get it. And if you don't like getting into heavy technical stuff, but you're good at communication and management, this is for you, man. Number 4 is new for me, but it's also a no-brainer. The Google Data Analytics Professional. Now, everywhere you go, you're going to hear AI all over the place. But when you raise the hood of AI, nobody knows that it all comes down to actually data analytics and data scientists and, machine learning engineers. And this is all what kind of Google Data Analytics Professional helps with. That's the reality of artificial intelligence. You need those people creating all that information to bring this cool, natural language processing to life. And not to, aside from that, guys, aside from just AI, businesses want to rely more on data. People want to rely more on data. So that's just a great role to have in general, right? Guys, explosive industry growth. This industry is going to be huge, right? By 2029, $685 million are coming into this industry. Sorry, scratch that. $685 billion are coming into this industry. I had you guys stuck there for a second. And unlike other advancers in data analytics, it's actually pretty beginner friendly. So it kind of introduces you how to make your way in the field of data analytics and all that different, things that get involved in starting your career as a data analyst, for a data scientist, maybe a machine learning engineer, to a data researcher. Who knows, you might end up in OpenAI making $1 million a year. But for this role, it's pretty entry level. You get $70,000 to $100,000. I think that's pretty good. Just understanding data, because you're going to be you're going to have a solid job. Nobody can take your job because everybody's going to rely on you, because this type of field, you can't be replaced because it's growing. Simple as that. Okay, lastly, and this is, I think, my favorite one, is the CompTIA Security Plus. And now here's why. As we mentioned, for number 1, cybersecurity is immensely growing. You've seen all the cyber threats happening, all the unfilled jobs, and all the demand. As more and more humans use software, we need to secure the software. But here's my reason why. This is perfect for a beginner to break into the career. The first one I told you, you probably heard it and you're like, shit, well, maybe I'm not just a, I'm not a pro, but I want to get in the field. I don't want to do something that's professional. This is where you'd want to start with. This is literally made for people that are very, very new to cybersecurity. You have basic understanding of computers. This is for you. Once again, huge market demand. Cybersecurity jobs grow at 33% per year. That's take a piece of that pie if you want to change your life and make some money. 1, it's government recognized. It's a baseline certification that's actually recognized by the U.S. Department of Defense, which is a big deal. That means you will have baseline understanding of things that the government or Department of Defense sees as you can secure these things, or you have a basic understanding of security at this level, which is recognized at DoD. Be like, yeah, this is baseline understanding of something that's actually important, or we would use in their Department of Defense organization. And the starting salary, is pretty awesome. It's like $75,000 to about $100,000. I mean, if you're starting off, that's pretty good, right? If you're new to tech, you want to get into cybersecurity quick, get yourself a Security Plus. It's a great way to launch your career and then keep growing from there. All right, so there you have it. These are my list compiled off the research that I did, guys. There's always going to be more and different certifications that are pretty good for this year. Take it with a grain of salt. I'd love for your feedback. You think they're useless? You think they're good? Let me know in the comments what you want to hear next. But just keep in mind, these are great stepping stones, right? Life doesn't just stop at these certifications. Your career won't just revolve around these certifications. You actually got to know what you're doing, but these can definitely help you, give you confidence, give the employer confidence, make the interview process a lot easier, make your salary negotiation a lot easier as you expand and grow your career. Who knows? By doing these careers, you might end up breaking out more problems in the company that you work for, and you can start an entrepreneurial journey and run your own business, right? My biggest things aside from Nexa is we are founders of a platform that helps you land a job, but we're also founders, and we want to make sure that this is why we say always, when the door opens, walk through, see what happens, and if it's not for you, cool, just look for another door, and this could lead you to another great place of maybe being an entrepreneur someday. And it doesn't have to stop at just working for somebody, although this is a great salary if you don't want to have the headache of what it takes to being a founder. So once again, I hope you like this video. Please let me know in the comments what other certifications, career related things you guys want to hear next, and I'll see you in the next one, man.